Let's go surfing now. Everybody's learning how. Come on the safari with me. Come on the safari with me. Hey guys, what's going on? I'm excited about today's video. So, I am going to be picking for the next week's free Oracle card reading. And before I do that, someone had said that had a reading with me said, I wish I could be a fly on the wall with these readings. And so with that, I ended up asking someone that I went to high school with if I could share a part of her reading with all of you. And this is a tribute in my own way to a surfer that passed not too long ago, Garth Batista. And I asked his sister, Laura Batista, if I could use their names and tell the story of Laura and I's reading together and the serendipity that occurred and what has occurred since then. One of the things that I learned from Sin on such a deep level, I mean, it's not that I had never heard of this before, it's just she really helped me see that it is true. It's true, and I got proof through her, was that we can be in contact with our loved ones when they pass. And ever since she has passed, she comes to me through different symbols, one of them being hearts, another one being owls, songs, whatnot. Now, does that mean that every time I see a heart, it's like cinnamon? No. And I absolutely know when she is there contacting me, because immediately I see a heart. Yesterday I went on a hike in Santa Margarita. I put it on my story, and I just looked down and there was this heart rock, and I absolutely knew it was her just giving me a nod and loving me. And I just broke down and started crying. And I'm on this beautiful hike. I'm nowhere near tears. And I looked at it and felt her presence and knew, and just let out the grief that I will continually have for her the rest of my life, amongst other people that have passed on. Grief is not one of those things that ends. It just shows up, you cleanse and purge, and then you continue. And that's what she taught me. She taught me how to grieve, whether it be friendships that are no longer, whether it be just changing the form of different things, or death. And it is all about allowing ourselves to feel the pain of it without being the pain, without suffering. And so I did. I just cried. I actually fell down to the ground by that rock and just sobbed for a few minutes, not long. And then I just hear her say, okay, that's it. You cleansed and purged. Time to move on with your life. And the next second I was creating happiness and looking at the beautiful views, and just happy that I had that moment of connecting with her. So I was telling Laura, because her brother had passed, that these symbols are one way to connect. And did she have a symbol that she could connect with Garth? And she didn't. And gosh, I just kept getting starfish, although I knew it wasn't a starfish. There was just something with it. And she said, no. And I said, well, open yourself up to receiving a symbol, and he can show up in that symbol, and you're gonna know. There's just no doubt in your mind. You will know when he's contacting you. And I told myself, who knows, it could take her a day, it could take her 6 months. Did I expect her to boom, or for him to appear in that very second? No. and he shows up on a towel right in front of her, and it was a star that was in the shape of a logo on a surfboard. And the surfboard, he was a JG rider, Jerry Grantham rider, and the symbol was this star back in the 80s, maybe 90s, I don't know, just back in the 80s, 70s. For me, 80s, because I grew up in the 80s. And Garth was a JG board rider. And she said, oh my gosh, it's the JG star. Like, that's it. And I thought, yes, starfish. I was getting star. And a lot of times intuitively, we just can see through, like, maybe the creak in the bottom of a door. We don't see the whole picture intuitively, and then that's what's fun about all of us grabbing into our intuition, and it's like a puzzle, and then you bring it all together, and it's boom. So it went, and then I immediately got a yes, and I had shivers all over my body, and it was like, yay! So she knew it 100% that he was saying hi. So it's been a few weeks, and a few days ago, a star came to me on the back of a truck. It may have been a JG star. I'm not sure. It was so quick, and 100% it was Garth reaching out to me and saying, hey, and I had to laugh because Garth was a huge flirt, and he was a fun flirt. I actually enjoyed his flirtation. Some people I don't really enjoy the way they flirt, but I really had a good time with Garth, the little exchanges that we had back in the day. And he was flirting again, and I laughed, and he wanted me to contact his sister. So I went on with my day, and that night I had completely forgotten about it. And sure enough, I'm looking on Instagram and a star shows up, and it was boom, I knew it. So I contacted Laura, and she said she had been asking for a sign that day, and she didn't receive it. She received it through me. And it was just incredible. And so, someone had asked about being a fly on the wall in the reading, and I just want to let you all know that although it's not in the same way by any means, and I would just absolutely love sometimes a Cinnamama hug, or to hear her laugh, or just for her to give me the what for, because boy, she was really good at giving me the what for, and I needed it, let me tell you. Still do at times. And the connection I have with her on the other side, I wouldn't give up for anything. It's different, and it's just as beautiful. And so it is possible for those of you that have had any loved ones or know anyone that has passed that just has this empty feeling that they're gone. They're not. They are with us all the time. They really are. And at times, if they do leave and go off for a while, they'll come back, and we are just not alone. And so that's my story for the fly on the wall. And with that, let's do next week's free oracle card reading. So this one's for Garth. Let's all just breathe in for Garth and Laura, just connecting them and helping Laura just know that he's always with her if she ever forgets. Not to say you do forget, Laura, but if you do, here's a reminder that he is supporting you, and he is an angel for you on the other side. And God knows we could use all the help sometimes. Here we go. And here, just I'm praying for all the loved ones that are missing their lovies who have passed to the other side, animals, besides people. Knowing that one day you will join them and have a great laugh at it all. This Earth School game we've played. Remembering that we at times may feel lonely, and yet we are never alone. I'm gonna close my eyes. And the winner of next week's Oracle card reading is... I'm not going to say who this is. I've already had a reading with them, and I put them back in the bowl by accident. And actually, you know what? I'm going to do 2 readings this week because this is just not an accident. So Nicole, you got another reading for this week. Yep, 2, baby, 2. So Nicole, and here we go. Here's another one, okay? Tanya, my other surfer girl, of course. And if any of you guys know a surfer, man, not boy, man, she is looking for a surfer man. And I have no doubt that this is why. And she knew Garth very well. So it's pretty cute that she is the winner today. My best friend, sister girl, we've been through it all since we were 14 years old. Let's do this thing. Bye, you guys. Happy Sunday.